Hi, my name's Paul Smith. I'm 56 years old, an ex-England school athlete, a top athlete in the Royal Navy. In 1991, I was involved in a road traffic accident. Following that, I spent a 12-year period in lockdown syndrome. 9 years ago, as I was coming out of lockdown syndrome, I had a thought in my head that I'd like to restart fundraising for various charities. And 8 years ago, I commenced my first physical challenge in an NHS wheelchair. I completed 6 miles around the outside of the Emirates Stadium, and we raised over 4,500 for Teenage Cancer Trust. After that challenge, I thought that this challenge, that wasn't a big enough challenge. It didn't really test me. So my next challenge was a 20-mile challenge in the sports wheelchair, which I'm sat in at the moment, and sponsored by RGK Wheelchairs. We took on 20-mile challenge. Again, found that wasn't challenging enough, so I decided to up the mileage and went to a 50-mile challenge, again round the outside of the Emirates Stadium for Great Ormond Street. After that, I went home, contemplated, found that I needed another challenge, something more testing, because I was getting stronger in my mind, although I have a head injury, permanent head injury, neck injury, shoulders, chest, crush injuries to my hips and damage to my spine. So the next challenge would be just that, a challenge, a big challenge. And I decided that I wanted to push myself from Portsmouth to London, finishing at the Emirates Stadium. And that took us 2.5 days. After that, again, I decided 100 miles it was so easy, and I needed another challenge. And what other challenge could I do? Well, being in the Royal Navy, it came to mind that why shouldn't I continue to do challenges from places that I was stationed at. The next place I was stationed at was Portland in Dorset, 200 miles from Portland via Portsmouth to London, again finishing at the Emirates Stadium. We had a fantastic time. It was a great challenge, difficult, but still, again, me being me wasn't challenging enough. So what could I think of next? My next challenge was to be from Plymouth via Portsmouth and back to London, finishing at the Amelia White House Hotel at Regent's Park, who at the time was sponsoring us. It was at this time, because I've been testing out several gloves because my hands were my brakes, and especially going downhill, they're taking a lot of damage, the gloves were falling apart. I contacted Globaleather, also known as AFIA, and spoke to Sharon May. We had a return email saying we would gladly supply you with gloves. In fact, we gladly sponsor you. I was absolutely over the moon. Within a few days, we received these gloves through the post, and I took to the roads, climbing hills, coming down hills at 33 miles an hour, without a care in the world, confident that these gloves were working really, really well. The gloves were tested beyond what they were actually required for normal everyday use. There's nobody really goes travelling downhill at 33 miles. In fact, I've reached up to 42.1 miles, and using these gloves are absolutely fantastic. They did melt a little bit, and that's not surprising because of the speed and the material and the heat build-up. But they're still fantastic gloves, and I swear by them, and I would use them every day. We've been through 3 years of sponsorship with Globaleather, and I've found their gloves to be absolutely fantastic. They're always striving to improve, listening to feedback, and I've been able to give that feedback, and they've been able to improve the quality of their gloves, the kind of materials they use. Gloves are not only just for disabled people in wheelchairs, it can also be used by able-bodied people, and I fully recommend that you at least try them out. My final challenge to date was Challenge Gibraltar. This meant I had to climb steeper hills, and obviously the steeper they go up, the steeper it is to come down. Great speed. The gloves held out really, really well. Climbed Gibraltar Rock in 2 hours and 14 minutes. Went through only 2 pairs of gloves because of the paintwork on the push rims being a bit rougher than normal. But to this day, I can't thank Globaleather enough for their gloves, and hopefully I'll continue to be able to test their gloves to the limit as I have done before.